Hey Emma, I'm making the popcorn stitch square to make a blanket eventually. I don't like the way I joined them, so I don't know if I'm gonna end up taking this part apart, but I'm trying to work in like 4 of them at a time so I don't get crazy knowing that I have to make like 1,000. I hate the magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On here I need to go into. This is the first time I've done this, so I was gonna stitch them together, and then I was like, oh, do I feel like doing that? But then I did this, and I was like, I don't know that I like that either. You know, I'd like it to be like as invisible as possible. I'm not gonna tighten that all the way yet, because I hate when I start something like this, because it's like you don't have enough to hold on to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5.5. Is it I9? And I'm just using worsted weight. This is a pattern from well, I know it's like a traditional pattern, but the video I was watching was Hooked by Robin. Let's get the popcorn stitch square. Hers is really pretty because I think her background is still gray, but her flowers are like a tonal kind of pinky beige. I think her background's gray. But I was sitting in my back room crocheting, and I was like, I am falling asleep. Yeah, I don't usually go. I think the smallest I'm using right now is a 4.5, a 4.25, and the biggest one I'm using is a 6.5 maybe. Although the yarn that I got that's telling me to use a 6.5 is the same weight as this. Like it looks you know, it says it's bulky, but it doesn't look bulky. Like it's like heavy worsted, but it's telling me to use this. It's telling me to use this like really big hook, and I was like, oh no. My tension tends to be really tight too. I've never done a gauge piece because I've never done anything where it needs to like fit specifically. Like every garment I've made has been like a big slouchy sweater. Like if I was making something like a form fitted sweater, I would probably do a gauge swatch. But if I want to get into a project, like by the time I do a gauge swatch, I'll be like, I'm done with this. I don't feel like doing this anymore. But I think it is a good habit to get into. See, I feel like I go so much faster once I have something to hold on to. But every time I see like do a gauge swatch, and I'm just like, no. I'm like, I don't feel like doing that. That's gonna take too long. And then you know the first line of the pattern is like chain 172, and I'm like, oh. And I have a sweater over here that I've been working on. I finished the front panel. I did like 7 variations of the sleeve, and now I'm working on like what I'm actually going to do for the sleeve. And this is as far as I've gotten. It's been weeks because it's just double crochets, and I'm like, I am so bored of this. I got into crochet because I couldn't knit, and I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to crochet because it just confused me so much. But I couldn't do the, you know, like when they're knitting and they're flipping the yarn back and forth. I lacked the coordination to do that. And I never liked the look of crochet. Like I had this idea in my head that I was like, you know, it looks like, because most of the crochet that I ever saw was like granny squares done with acrylic yarn and like these obnoxious colors. And I was like, I don't really like the look of that. But I saw the virus. I think I saw the virus shawl, and I was like, that is fantastic, and I want to make that. So that was the first thing I like ever successfully crocheted was a virus shawl. Hey Jen, and then I started a virus blanket, but it was when my hands were um it's when my hands were really giving me problems. So it's like it's in my office with like a ball of yarn and a crochet hook stuck through it because I never remember what crochet hook I'm using. I don't even know if this is the right one. I have this one. Yeah, this one's got the rubber handle on it for the sweater, but I don't have a 5.5. I'm trying to like I want to find like a set, but the thing is I don't need the really big ones and I don't need the really small ones. Um, so I'm trying to just like I'm trying to find one. Like every time I go to the store, like if I went to with Hobby Lobby the other day, if I find one I haven't tried before, I'll buy it and then just see if I like it. So I have this one, and then I have a smaller one that's I think it's in my office that I was using when I was doing these ornaments, and I like that one. So I think next time I go back to Hobby Lobby, I'll just get like a 4.25 through like a 6.5. I was gonna say you having a garage sale on a Thursday night at like what time is it there? Like 7, 6. I tried to sit outside and crochet, but I was like, it's too cold, and also it's gonna be dark in like 10 minutes. So but I really want to like, how indulgent is this that I want to like get like a little heater for outside so I can go out there and sit and crochet because I don't know what it is about crocheting at my desk in the back. Like it makes me so uncomfortable, and I know it's because I'm not supposed to sit at my desk chair for 5 hours at a time. Um, but it's just I wanted to go outside because I have a little sofa, a little settee out there, but it was too chilly. I'm in New Orleans, and I think it's because like I'm so tense when I'm crocheting. I'm just like um I'm so tense when I'm crocheting. Like my legs stay like really tight, like I'm an eagle. Then I was cleaning up and I found like 6 turbans, and I was like, okay, wasn't it one right here? I found a black velvet one that I've been looking for forever because it's the one I like to wear in the winter. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. I know it's definitely like it's like it can be like it's I know it's supposed to be relaxing and sometimes I do find it relaxing, but like just I don't know what it is. My legs just start killing me. And I even put like a footstool back there so I can like elevate my legs, but no such luck. I had a girl at Goodwill the other day. She stopped me and she said, I love your hat. And I touched my head and I was like, I'm not wearing a hat. And I was like, oh. I said, girl, it's my bonnet. I just got a silk press. She said, what kind of hat is that? And I was like, it's a turban. She's like, where do you get a hat like that from? And I was like, the beauty supply by the mall. And she extremely loudly told me she was pansexual. And I was like, go ahead. Oh, see, I used to have a big recliner, like this this enormous, like, leather recliner. It was so big. I don't know why I wanted it so bad. I think I sat in it like 5 times. And then I eventually got rid of it just because it was, the dog had Weenie, my old dog, used to jump on it all the time, and then Business was like laying on it whenever I was in here, so it got all funky. And I'm like, I wish I had kept that funky old chair. Oh wait, I'm trying to finish this round before I close off this popcorn. Do I have an accent? I can never hear it, but everybody always says that. And I'm like, wait, what? All right, so I have 8 popcorn stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna slip stitch over to this first chain 2 I did. Is that right? Yeah. I'm gonna chain 3 right away and then pull that out. And there go the magic ring, even though I hate doing it because it's so tiny. Goodbye, magic ring. So there's my center. My mom was like, are they flowers? Happy Thanksgiving. Glad you joined us for a little while. I said, yeah, they're flowers. She's like, why are they taupe? And I was like, because that's my aesthetic, Mom. Taupe flowers on a gray background. These are the same size, right? I really don't want to get this one done and be like, why is it twice the size as all the other ones? It looks bigger. Oh well. I'm sure it's fun. Hey, Bettina. What are you working on? I put up a little tree this year. I just didn't feel like doing anything. I have a video of me lighting a little mini tree and then me decorating it while I pitch my idea for a Hallmark original movie or a Lifetime. I think it's a Hallmark movie or a Lifetime movie. Because I was like, those movies are so stupid. I could write one in like 10 minutes. And I just started talking and I was like, okay, so it's a woman and she works for a big company and she's got to go to her hometown where she meets a sexy guy who has a family business making handmade Christmas stockings that he sells in his store year round, and he can't make his rent for some reason. So it's like 45 minutes of me decorating a tree and just like blabbering incoherently about absolutely nothing. Patty, you should figure out how to crochet. It's super fun. Like, and not as complicated as I thought. Though my whole reason with my whole thing with crochet is that they were always like, okay, now, go into the first chain from the hook, or go into your chain two, and I didn't know the anatomy of the stitch. Like, is there one I can show it on? Like this green stitch right here. Like, okay, that's the chain two I made right there. But what is the top of that stitch? And I always thought it was like over here, but it's actually over here, right? Or am I thinking of it the wrong way? Anyway, once you figure out like the anatomy of the stitch, it's so much easier to understand. Because then when you're watching, and there's so many free patterns on YouTube where they like walk you through the whole thing. I bought one pattern and it was for this sweater, and I thought the sleeves were going to kill me. So I was like, nope, you know what? I'll use the body of the sweater and I'm going to switch these sleeves up. All right, am I doing chains between here? Am I just doing one chain? I think so. Oh, Patty, you got more patience than I do. I saw somebody doing a video on one of those the other day, and I was like, why? Oh no, I have to look her up. Like, I always see things I want to do, but like if I have to, if I'm like chained to a pattern, like if I can't memorize the pattern, if it's like, one of the things I wanted to do was like, okay, now we're going to repeat rows 2 through 14. And I was like, that's too many rows, because I need to like memorize what I'm doing so I don't have to constantly refer to a pattern. I think you're supposed to chain one between these petals, but I chain two because it's hard to get two popcorn stitches into the chain one space. So I chain two, and then I just do chain one on the outside between each stitch. Yeah, I feel like crochet is like, my thing with knitting is that if I made a mistake and didn't realize it until I was this far into a project, I didn't know how to fix it. And with crochet, I'm just like, eh. I feel like crochet is a lot more forgiving. Knitting was just, it's I wasn't good at it. I never found a way to hold my yarn and tension it the way that I liked it. I mean, I knitted like 3 sweaters. um I knitted my mom. No, I knitted 2. I did one for my mom and one for Michelle. um and I think those were the last things I knitted, because I was like, nope. I said, this is just not for me. Did anybody? I don't know if, I think it came out today. The sequel to the Christmas Story. It's called The Christmas Story Christmas. It was so good, like a lot better than I thought it would be. I love these two colors. I was like, I need something muted. Like, I usually don't like metallic yarns, but this one, it's so subtle. Like, can y'all even see that it's... Well, you probably can see it when I'm moving this one around, but it's just got like the... It's got just like a single silver thread running through it. I think it came out today, I think, on HBO Max. But it's the same guy from the original one, but it's a different mom. And I think it's the same brother, but he's only in it for like 10 minutes, if that. You like Jen. I think is Jen still over there making fall wreaths. I think the last like Christmas related thing I'm gonna do is I want to do like this big garland. Which like I love doing garlands. It's just there's no room. Like they're so big, especially the one I have. It's from Frontgate. It was like $300. $300 for a 9-foot piece of garland, but I got it at Goodwill for $3.99. So I got two of them, and I kind of want to make something, but I don't know. I got to see what the Lord has in store for me. I'm gonna have a video for next week. I have a video for like the next 3 weeks that I just have to edit, which is what's killing me right now because I'm just like, I don't feel like doing this. And then I'll probably do, what is that? 3 weeks brings me to the second week of December. So I'll probably throw the garland in there somewhere, and that'll be it for the, and then I'll take January off probably. Am I like way out of frame over here? I was trying to film this thing where it's like Siri picks my wreath, Siri designs my wreath, where I had like, I think I had 10 different deco meshes and a bunch of ribbons and a bunch of, just like a bunch of random stuff. And, I wanted it to be a Christmas wreath. So I picked like a bunch of Christmas colors and then threw in like orange and purple and black and gray and all these other colors. And I went to go film the video and it picked that like pink and orange with black, and I was like, no. And then I was like, all right, well, I can't like cheat at this. Like there's no way for me to cheat at this and not let people know. So I had to refilm the video and then pick that like orange, a multicolored Christmas mesh, and then like bright yellow. And I was like, no. So I gave up when it was like the fourth time of me filming it. It kept like picking the worst stuff. I said, you know what? There's enough of me. There's enough of me. Because the thing is, you have to put the ugly colors in there and then like work with them. And I'm sure if I was in a mood to do anything this year, I probably would have been able to pull it off. I was just like, ugh. Because I picked like five that I was like, okay, I can any combination of these five I can make a wreath out of. And then I added purple, orange. I think I added purple, orange. Business. Really? I added purple, orange, black, like a metallic gray snowdrift mesh, and something else that was just. And it was just like, hey, put the lime green in there with the orange and in the burlap, and I was like, what? Oh, this is what I'm making, by the way, if you was wondering. And my mom bought an air fryer, and then she got it home and set it up, and she's like, "This is too big. I don't want it." So she gave it to me. I have not turned on my stove since. I've not turned on my stove. I have not turned on um my toaster oven. I did turn on my actual oven because I made. I'm calling it mincemeat pie bread because it's like a spice cake quick bread base mixed with like half a jar of the prepared mincemeat filling. It was so good. It was so moist. And I couldn't fit it in my toaster oven, so I had to like clean out my big oven and turn it on for the first time in, I don't know, like 10 years. But it gave me an excuse to cleaning it out gave me an excuse to maybe make biscotti this year because I've not made biscotti for a couple of years, and everybody's like, "Hey, I know we haven't talked since 1993, but don't you make biscotti?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." But like, what are you getting at? Yeah, can I get some of that? I love that they only sell they probably sell it somewhere else. It's just I can only ever find it at Big Lots, and it's around this time of year. It's pumpkin biscotti and it's dark chocolate, like it's got dark chocolate on it. Oh my god, it's so good. But I usually do cherry pistachio with like a sanding sugar on top. One, two, three, four, five. Come on. I made Ina Garden's roasted broccoli yesterday in the air fryer, which made it so much easier. It's just broccoli, drizzled in olive oil, um, with pine nuts and garlic, and you bake it or air fry it until it gets like it basically. It's I mean it turns basically black, so it gets real crispy. And when it comes out, you toss it with Parmesan cheese shavings and pine nuts, and put lemon juice on it. Oh my god, it's so good. My mom was like, "What did you eat for dinner?" And I was like, "Broccoli and two cheese weenies." Like it was super elevated broccoli, but I had the cheese weenies to balance me out. I love soups when it's cold out. Like my mom made gumbo a couple weeks ago for Sunday dinner, and I was like, I cannot enjoy this when it's this hot outside. You ever try the potato soup made with the tater tots? Yeah, it's like 40 here right now. I'm living for it. 3, 4, 5. I think I'm actually going to fix some meatballs later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Did I do my chain one? I don't think so. Well, doesn't matter. If I didn't, I'll do it again. Emma, I don't even know how cold that is. I want to make a fruitcake bread, which I'm assuming is just going to be like a box of spice cake mixed with the fruitcake fruits. Because my mom makes fruitcake every year, and she gave me a piece this year, and she had just like put the amaretto on it, and I swear, y'all, I was driving to Walmart afterwards, and I told my sister, I was like, I think I'm a little drunk, because it takes nothing for me to get like intoxicated because of my bypass. I had a beer the other night, and I texted my mom, and I was like, I had a beer, my face real hot, I don't know what to do. And she's like, why did you have a beer? And I was like, I don't know, but my face is real hot now. Oh crap, I forgot to popcorn that one. That's the technical term for that. Popcorn it. I was like, why does this look weird? All right, then I'm just gonna chain one. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's about, I mean, it's warmer than that here, but not by much. It's just, it's so windy here. What happened? Did you lose your wig? Did your wig go flying out the window? Oh my God. Oh my God, did a bunch of your teeth fall out? Because that happens to a lot of people. I'm just saying, it happens sometimes. Are these the same size? Like, this is a 5.5. I don't know if I use a 5. Okay, now I don't know which one is which. This one looks like bigger. But like not bigger enough for me to... I guess I could weigh them, but... eh. Yeah, I think I used the wrong hook for this. Another one, don't you? Do y'all have like 3 now? Bring home a puppy and name it Lauryn Hill. Or SWV. They like to give them names like 90s pop R&B singer names. I don't know, maybe they're the same. I don't think it matters. I'm gonna work on this stupid sweater over here. Oh. You talking about Macy Gray? Oh, you should name the second one Erica Badu. That way when it pisses on the floor, you can say, Erica Badu. All right, so this is a sleeve for my sweater that I've been working on for 100 years. I'm doing it 14 beagles. Well, that's a Christmas movie in the making. The 14 Beagles of Christmas, I could write that in 10 minutes. I'm doing it backwards because I have to keep doing front post crochets, and they're just easier to do from the wrong way. But now that I'm looking at it, this is supposed to be the sleeve on the outside, and this is what I wanted. But then as I do more on the inside, I'm like, I kind of like the inside, and it doesn't matter. Like, I don't have to decide until I'm ready, which will be, 17 inches from now probably. But I don't know which side I like better. I mean, I think I like this because it has more texture, but... And your husband was like, yeah, why not? If somebody stopped me and be like, you don't like you'd give a dog a good home, I'd be like, ma'am, you are mistaken. I was like, I took my dog out the other day, and he was wearing a fox sweater with a hoodie. What is going on here? What's the tea? Why am I inside out and backwards with this? Oh, crap. He was hers before she was homeless? Oh, that just makes me very sad. Oh. Wow. All the homeless people out here have dogs with them because if you, like, you're not supposed to be homeless, I guess. And if, like, they get the police called on them, the police don't want to deal with having to, like, take the dog and call animal control and do all this extra paperwork, so they don't like arrest the people or like make them. They usually make them leave if they're somewhere where somebody's complained about it, but they all have dogs, and I'm just like, oh my god. But I never seen no scrawny dog, so they must be taking care of them somehow. Like all the homeless people in the all the people in like the French Quarter all have dogs because the police are just like, we don't want to deal with this. But he's a boy. So is his name Jodeci? If that dog's name is Jodeci, I am quitting the internet. Or Tony, or Tony. You need to go to the dog park and be like, these are my dogs, Macy Gray and Jodeci. Oh, that's not bad. That's a good dog name. Whenever I go like to the vet with business, they're like, "What's his name?" And I'm like, "Business Chenevert, Mr. Business Chenevert." It's like, "Wait, is it under B?" And I'm like, "No, it's under Mister." I have all this yarn bar from this ball, and I'm just trying to get to this. I'm trying to get to this ball inside my yarn holder because I want to use my yarn holder, but it's had this crap sitting on top of it for like a week and a half now. This is my dog Macy Gray in Texaco. This is my dog Macy Gray, my other dog Chevron with Techron. See, if I named my dogs by where I got them from, Weenie's name would have been Trailer Park Joe. Because I got him from this woman in Trailer Park who was like, just bathe him in some Pine Sol to get rid of this fleas. And I was like, okay, here's $200, bye. And then I rescued business, but they found him on this street down the road that's just like, eh. So he would have, I would call him Colonial Boulevard. Every time I think about that, I get sad because business is so little. I can't imagine him like walking around like a busy street. I went outside the other morning, to let him out, and we had a really bad storm the night before, so my fence blew down. And of course, as soon as I let him out, as soon as the gas station, not the gas station, the garbage guys were down there, and he was like, "I'm gonna go attack them," and I was like, "Can you not? Like, really? I don't want to run down this driveway screaming your name." Paul, James, and Charles. I had a teacher, a biology teacher, in high school. Was she bio? No, she was chemistry. Uh, it was chemistry. She had like 17 cats, and they all had people names. Because she said one day, I know I've told this story before. She's like, I'm just so nervous. I got to take my cat to the vet, and I'm so nervous because I think something's wrong with it. And somebody was like, "What's your cat's name?" And she's like, "Jeffrey." And we were like, "What?" She's like, "Jeffrey." Oh God, Carolyn's gonna be a mess without him. They're best friends. And I was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Could you tell us all your cats' names?" And she's like, "Somebody come write them on a board so I can remember." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." She's like, "There's Jeffrey, Kenneth, Tiffany, Rebecca." And I was like, "Oh Lord." But I can't get on anybody for naming pets because my first dog was named Principe Octavius James Chenevert. And business's name is the business. Zachary Business on his passport because that was his name at the shelter, Zach. And I was like, that's stupid. I said, Zach is a stupid name. I'm going to name him Mr. Business. Yeah, I'm extra. You know, I've been reading me some books. I wish I could access my Goodreads list, but I can't because my phone is filming. But today I finished this book called The Lost Village, about this village, and it's translated from Swedish. So it's about this village where everybody goes missing, and like it's like the late 1950s, early 1960s. Like the whole village just disappears, and then all these years later, this woman whose grandmother had lived there at one point, she goes back to like film a documentary, and they're trying to like figure out what happens, and all this spooky stuff's happening, and they cut back and forth between like what's happening in present day, and then the stuff in the past is like letters that one sister has written another, and then like, you know, just exposition from the event that occurred. See, those are good cat names. Maxwell? I don't know. Max, that's good. And I just finished Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. Yo, like I love I love mythology in general, but I love mythology the best. And it's written like it's not because it's written like I don't know. Like when we're talking about mythology, do we call it nonfiction because it's not to some people, but it is actually? They'd be like, oh no, Christianity is nonfiction, but because we can't like prove anything. Um, but it's like a fictionalized fictionalized stories of North Norse myths. And I found it like super enjoyable. They should have just named the book Loki is a jerk and Thor is an idiot, because it's like Loki was mad because someone like he's mad about like, you know, something like somebody pulled in too close to his parking spot, so he decides to kill the whole family and take the wife and turn her into a falcon and then have a wolf baby with her. And I'm like, Loki, chill. And then Loki gets in trouble with something else, and the guy's coming to kill all the gods. He's a giant and he's coming to kill all the gods, and they're like, listen, he wants to marry Freya. Freya is the most beautiful god there is. He also wants the stars and the moon, or the sun and the moon. So like, yeah, we can't give him that, but Loki, like an idiot. Oh, I went the wrong one. Loki, like an idiot, like bet him. He bet him something and he lost the bet. So he's like, yeah, you can marry Freya. And then Freya's like, I'm not marrying that guy. And he's like, but Freya. So instead, they dress Thor up as Freya. And Thor is described in the myths as being like very tall, red hair, full beard, and like chubby, like overweight. So they dress him up as Freya, and like he goes to like the dinner before the actual wedding, and he eats like 7 oxes, and he drinks like, you know, 7 barrels of mead. And the guy's like, "Oh, she has an appetite. I like an appetite in a woman." And I'm like, "These are so stupid. Like, what kind of morals are these do these stories have?" They were also really fun. And there's one where Loki tricks Baldur's brother Hod into killing Baldur, and Loki like disappears after that because everybody's gonna be like, oh well, he, you know, Loki had something to do with it, because of course it's always Loki. So he like disappears, and when he comes back, he finds out that since Baldur is dead, Odin has just been like, oh God, now I have to have another kid. So he has another kid, and the day after it's born, the kid goes after the other brother, the blind brother Hod or whatever his name is, and kills him. And I'm like, okay, Like, I mean, it's like, y'all need therapy. Yeah. I'm sorry that people don't know how to close doors appropriately, business. Come in here, my pretty angel boy. I tried reading the Witcher books, and I was just like, this is a lot. But I need to. I think if I got the audiobooks, I'd be better. Because The Lost Village was translated from Swedish, and I was like, that was fine. I just always wonder, like, if I'm reading something that's been translated, if I'm like missing something. See, the only thing I don't like about this side is that it's leaving this seam right here. Which, I mean, you can see it here too, but it's not as obvious. I probably will end up using this side. Right now I'm reading Resistance by Tori Amos. It's like a memoir slash not really self-help, but like, I was like expecting like straight memoir, and she's like, in 1979 during the Tehran scandal, and I was like, what are you talking about? Michelle asked how it was, and I was like, I don't know, she's talking about her involvement in like Iran Contra or something. I don't know what's going on. Oh, the human back was not supposed to make those kind of noises. Oh my god, how is this inside out again? I think I want to watch a Christmas movie tonight, like Krampus. Every time I go to my mom's house, she's got that Lifetime. You know, Lifetime started playing their Christmas movies on like Thanksgiving, and it just hasn't stopped. Like it goes from one straight into the other one. And every time I'm over there, I'm like, this is so stupid. Then I'm like, wait. And then my mom's like, she's like, where are you going after this? I was like, wait, I can't go anywhere. I have to see how this woman wins this gingerbread building competition to save the town. And then I come home and I'm like, I'm gonna finish watching that movie, and then I never do. I assume the town got destroyed. I might do that. I might wrap presents and listening to something. I was trying to read all the I don't know what this called. This is Joanne's. Y'all don't have Joanne's there though, huh? This is Joanne's Big Twist. I don't know what the color is. I think it's just teal is what they call it. But this is like this color, this teal, and this mustard color. Like, I don't care what kind of yarn it is, I'm buying it. Like, that's just how it's gonna be. I'm like, what is it? $35 a ball? Oh, I need that. I want to get through the yarn off, and then I'm going to stop for the night. Just because I was up late last night working on the ornaments, and when I got in bed, my fingers were just like, so you know the like Voltaren comes with a little measurement card, like how much you're supposed to squeeze out per dose. I just went like squeezed just the whole thing, and I was like, oh. I think I like. Oh yeah, you absolutely could. Don't go like get a book and being like, oh, I can figure out how to do this from a book. Like I do, it's like a visual thing. Like, and you have to learn as long as you know like the anatomy of the stitch. Once you figure out where this hook is supposed to go, like see that if I was doing like a regular stitch, my hook would go right here in this part to pick up the two pointy parts on top right here. But as soon as you figure that out, it's just like, okay, you're doing the same stitch over and over again, just in different ways. Look out Hook by Robin on YouTube has a lot of like good like just beginner videos, beginner projects. Bella, I think it's Bella Coco. She's got a lot, but some of her older videos are in UK stitch terms, which just super confusing to me. And I think it's Joanna Martinez. And there's a channel called Fiber Flux. You know, Fiber Flux. You just gotta find somebody like the whole thing. Like I always say, like if you're making a bow and you can't make a bow, and you're like, oh Adam, I've watched you make a bow. I've watched your bow making videos, 100 times, and I just can't get it right. Then you need to stop watching me making bows. You need to find somebody who can teach you the way you need to be taught. And I couldn't crochet for the longest time because I was just like, people were just like, okay, now go into your next stitch. Where is that? Is it here? Is it like over here? Is it this one? Is it the one, like, I didn't know where to go, and they would just go like this. So once I found somebody who really slowed it down, I was like, okay, well, this is just like, it's technically, of course I put that one in the wrong spot. It's technically just a bunch of slip knots, basically. And the only reason I'm not going into the top of these stitches is because this whole pattern is front post. I'm going around the post of the previous stitch right here instead of to the top of the stitch right here. But I learned to crochet to make the virus shawl, which I'm glad that it was the first thing I did, because when I was done and I was like, I did this looks amazing. I'm sure it has like errors in it, it's not perfect, but I was like, I did something so ambitious the first time I sat down and said, I'm gonna do this. I don't care how long it takes. I want to figure out how to do this. And when I was done, I was like, I did this. I was like, I did this incredibly complicated pattern, and it's like this huge shawl, but I can do anything. And then I went to make a hat, and I was like, oh, I can't do this. And I don't know what's wrong with this hat. I made a hat the other day, y'all. I swear, I put it on. I made it slightly bigger. I put it on. It looked exactly like a shower cap. You know how a shower cap will sit, it'll be tight around the brim, not the brim, the around your head, and then it'll just be kind of like a poofy mushroom thing in the back. That's exactly what it looked like. So I cut the top off to cut my stitches out, and then I rewound the yarn, and then I re-crocheted the hat, and it looks a lot better now. But I would say find somebody you like and start off with chunky yarn. Like this is worsted. I won't use anything under like a 3 weight, like a finger, not like a sport weight, just because it takes so much longer. And I don't know, you can go get you a ball of chunky yarn and a crochet hook from Walmart for like $5 or $6, and you do it. If it doesn't work, you take it out, you do it again, and eventually you're gonna be like, hey, I made a thing. But yeah, I was having such a hard time when I was first figuring out how to do it. I bought a book. I bought a book from Michael's of all places. It was like $30. Then I got it home and I was like, what the hell are they showing me here? Because it was all diagrams. But yeah, you just have to find your teacher. I really like Hooked by Robin. Like her videos are really nice. She's got a style similar to what I like. You know, like I'm not gonna be able to learn from somebody who's like using neon rainbow yarn. Even though I did crochet my sister the most obnoxious pair of neon socks. And then mom put them on. She's like, they don't fit. And I was like, perfect. So I get to take them all out and do them again. They were super. They're so ugly. And the whole time my eyes were just like, why are you doing this to us? Hey, Terry. Terry McKibben sounds like a news anchor name. Like live at 5 o'clock, Terry McKibben. That's a news anchor I would trust. Hey, Rosemary. I'm good. Just trying to get this sweater done before Christmas 2023, because I'm definitely not going to get it done by this year. Actually, you know, I think if I like sat down and just committed to doing this, like I could be done in like a couple days, because I think I did the front panel in one day. It's just these sleeves are taking forever, and it's boring because it's the exact same stitch repeatedly. My tree that I did for me this year is basically the same. You know, it's the same, like it's based on just vintage ornaments, but it's just a little mini tree because I'm just like not in the mood. Like I thought I would be once I started wrapping presents, but I started wrapping presents and then I was just like, eh. And I think I've just gotten to a point where I'm like, I want a house where I can do like big Christmas. Like I want a fireplace and I want, you know, a dining room, and I just want like a place that is not covered with wreaths on every wall. Because I'm like, oh, how am I going to do a Christmas tree? There's like 1,000 there's like 1,000 Christmas wreaths on the wall. I can't do tiny stuff. I crocheted an Native American blanket first, and last time I crocheted the nuts on a set of finger crochet. Yeah, I used to do that too. Like just with the, because that's what it is. You're just like pulling slip knots through. I like that. And I like arm knitting and stuff, but the yarn for that gets so expensive. I was working out a pattern for, where is that at? I just saw it. I was working out a pattern for an ornament. Let me see how these go together. I sent it to Jen just because I was like, what do you think about this? This is like the Dollar Tree. Does it say what size this is? No. Oh no, they don't need that. I have in my living room right now, from where I'm sitting, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 without turning around. So see, like, you do these in like half circles, and then you join them. Like, this one's not going to sit straight because it's just like not there yet, but you know, it'll be like that. And this is just basically a hat, but little bitty because it's just like going down. No, there's like 87 on Etsy because my whole bedroom's full of them too, and my mom's closet at her house. I bet there's at least 60 on Etsy right now. Etsy closed my shop this month because, you know, the girl from KFC stole my credit card, and I guess I did not switch it over to like do the auto payment, and they were like, "Hey, you need to give us money," and I was like, "You're supposed to be giving me money, Etsy," because usually my fee, you know, my fees are covered by my sales, but not so much. My mom's like, just sell them for $20. I was like, I can't ship them for $20. So how am I supposed to sell them for $20? I went to KFC, which I never do, and the woman took my card to like, you know, swipe it, and um, like she had it for like a while, and then she gave it back to me. And that night, like I checked my balance the next day, and I had like like $100 charge for DoorDash, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I don't like. First of all, I'm not lazy enough to order DoorDash. Like, no offense to anybody who does, that's just not me. Like, if I don't, if I'm not eating if I don't, if I have to have somebody bring me my food, I'm just not eating. Like, that's just no. Um, so I had to cancel the card, and then like go to the bank and deal with them, and I didn't like it. Like my cable bill this month, they were like, "Hey, we noticed you haven't paid your bill," and I was like, "Why didn't it come out automatically?" And I was like, "Because I forgot to change the number." Of course. But I was like so pissed off about it because I was like, what gives her the right to like see me and be like, you know what? He can afford $100 worth of DoorDash. Let's order it. I don't do local craft shows because they're all crappy down here. Yeah, I think that's what, like, they set their phone up so it's like on FaceTime, and then they hold your phone and they just go like this with the credit card, and then they flip it over to show the back for the thing, and who's ever on the other line just writes it down or screen caps it. I said the only reason I am at this line at this KFC is because Popeye's line was too long. Because ever since they came out with that damn chicken sandwich, I have not had Popeyes. And they didn't even get my order right. That's why when I was talking to the lady at the bank, she's like, "Oh yeah, I order everything. If I can't get it through the app, like I just don't go to the fast food place." And I was like, I can't be that person with 15 fast food 15 fast food apps on my phone. Terry, where at in Mississippi? Business Marie. Business Marie. Jen, that's pretty close to me. Why don't you visit him and come? Well, you can't come to my house because it's a mess. Why don't you visit him and then we can meet at the gas station up the street? You know racetrack. Meet me at the racetrack. We'll get frozen yogurt. Oh, my grandma used to live in Jackson when she was having an affair with a much younger man. Oh crap, I got my crochet hook stuck in my hair. Right before COVID was like 6 years ago. I know that. Why do you think we gotta meet at the racetrack up the street? Yeah, I'm almost through the yarn barf. And then I'll be able to, the next ball I start, I'm going to cake it up before I actually start crocheting with it. Because I hate when, like, you go to pull the end out and this whole thing comes out. But the reason I have so much of this left over is because this is the third time of me doing these sleeves. I tried to do the marigold sleeves first. They didn't work. I tried to do bauble sleeves. They did not work. It was looking like a mess. I tried to do something else and that didn't work. So I'm like, you know what? I can do front post crochets. That's what we're doing. You know how many Publix you would pass on the way from Florida to New Orleans? You know how many Cuban sandwiches you could bring me? Night, Emma. Stay warm. When I lived in Florida, my mom would go to Publix every morning and get me one of the subs and then bring it over and I would have it for lunch. Because back then I used to stay up all night. I used to go to bed at like 6 in the morning. And then she'd come over and bring me a sandwich. And we'd hang out for a minute. And then we'd go home and I would go back to sleep. The good old days. When my mom was over here, she wait, what you had yet? Oh, a Cuban. When my mom was over here, she's like, "Is the video done yet? Can I watch it?" And I was like, "No, Mom. I was like, it's Tuesday afternoon. That video doesn't have to be up until Wednesday morning. I have not touched it." But since I shot it on my iPhone, like, it was so much easier than like shooting on my camera. And I think the quality was better too. I love the Publix subs. They're so, like, I know they're not any different. It's just like they're just better because Publix is just better. I never left my house when I was in Florida because I had no idea where anything was. I was like, if I can't get it, if I can't get to it like from my house without having to like get on the highway or anything, like, nope. They're my Hobby Lobby is 75% off of fall right now. They have so much stuff left over, and I was like, nope, because I have, you know, those big, I don't know, does it say how big this bag is? It's one of those lawn bags. Those lawn bags that are like paper and you, like they're compostable. They have them on sale at Walmart for like 5 for $2, and I bought like 3 packs already, but I filled up 4 of them with just crap that I was like, I'm not gonna use this. I'm not gonna use this. So when I was at Hobby Lobby, the fall stuff was 75% off, and I was like, I can't do it. And then there was Christmas. Christmas is still 60% off, and there was stuff I wanted for my tree next year, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, so I don't think I'm gonna go back until Christmas is at 75% off. Yeah, we go to the sandwich place every Tuesday. Okay, the messages are just repeating over and over again. I hope this counts as engagement. I went to Hobby Lobby Saturday. Was my husband. Yeah, I do not go to I do not go anywhere on weekends. So I have like a bag of all just like I went through my signs and I got rid of like all my Dollar Tree signs, and like I got rid of a bunch of like ribbon that I bought and I either didn't like or whatever. And I still have all that ribbon from Christmas, you know, the Christmas grab bags from Michaels. Um, and I think I'm gonna just list that on Etsy because I mean it's a $15 roll of ribbon, and if I list it for like $3, maybe somebody will buy all of them. I just might like my whole thing is because I don't like making bows with crappy ribbon. Also, I don't know how to sell things. Um, I was like, okay, the signs take up 2 shelves over here, and I want them to take up 1 shelf. Or like I have 2 bins of Halloween stuff, and I only want 1 bin. So I went through and I was like, you know what? I have this, and I might use it, but probably not. So I just got rid of like a bunch of stuff. And I was like, I'm just gonna donate all this ribbon. And then I was like, Jen, have you seen the you know, I sent you the wrapping paper and stuff from Michaels. They have a set at Target too. It's all based on like, I think it's like a black woman, an Asian guy, a gay guy. Um, it's all like people of color and queer people who have all designed the wrapping paper and the like gift bags and stuff. And the gay guy, he's got this insane, like it's like, what is her name from the Nutcracker Suite? Like, oh my god, am I doing this on the wrong? You freaking kidding me, Adam? Son of a bitch. I'm a dumbass. But like, from the Nutcracker, what is her name? Like Mother Ginger or whatever her name is, where she's got like she lifts up her skirt and there's everything underneath there. It was so pretty, and I was like, I want this. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I need it. I want it. I have to have it. But it was like so expensive. But the ones at Walmart are. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're affordable. You know, it's like not beyond the realm of being able to actually buy it. I was so happy to see it, you know, because when I was a kid, Black Santa, like, no. Dollar Tree had a lot this year. I saw the one I sent you. I was looking for the elves because my mom, we were going through the signs, and my mom's like, why do you have these black elves? And I was like, because I had never seen them before, so I had to buy them. You know, the elves from the two little elves from last year. But Walmart has some. Um, Walmart has some. Dollar Tree has a lot more than I was expecting. I was like, okay, Dollar Tree. We were watching the Hallmark movies this morning. Like another one started, and it was like a black grandma and a little girl. And my mom was like, I don't watch the black ones, and I was like, what? And she said they're not believable, and I was like, why is it not believable? She's like, I don't think black people would do all this stupid crap. That's not what she said, but all this stupid stuff around the holidays. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But her friend that she works with was also saying like there were a lot of like the Hallmark movies this year have had a lot of diversity in them instead of just being freaking Candace Cameron. I was like, how many Christmas movies can Candace Cameron make in a year? But do you go to a white Dollar Tree? Are there like white and black Dollar Trees, or is that just a New Orleans thing? Because like my where I live is predominantly white, but the one I go to that's like it's further down. It's like on the border of an area that's predominantly white, and then an area about that's mostly I would say it's more predominantly mixed. Like my area is definitely like we're all white, and then the area next to me is like predominantly mixed. But where me and my mom go to Walmart in New Orleans East is predominantly black and Vietnamese. So I notice all the time, like when I was doing makeup, I noticed it a lot because if you went to the one in New Orleans East, there would be a lot of the, like you could see it in the foundation colors. Like they would have the light colors and the medium colors, but they would have the expanded range of the darker colors, or like was it the Queen Latifah collection with CoverGirl, and that's where I saw they always seem to have more diversity out there because Walmart does their research. They know who's shopping at their store. And we shop at that one because my mom's like, I'm not gonna shop where I work. I was like, you don't want your people you work with knowing that you bought a turkey for Thanksgiving in March. But I think stores definitely do that. Because like the Hobby Lobby I go to, I don't even think I've seen a black customer in there before. Like it is like, oh, I did see, I did see. Not this time that I was there. The last time I was there, I'm like walking around, and I'm walking around and like I'm like one lane over, and I hear this woman saying she's talking to a guy, she's talking to one of the employees, and she says, I want pink for my Christmas tree. And he's like, oh, well, we have like, this blush color. It's kind of, it's kind of, it's blush. It's like a rose gold. She's like, no, I want pink. And the guy was like, y'all don't have pink? And I was like, listen there. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And he's like, well, we have this like bright pink. She was like, no, I don't want that. I want regular pink. So they're going on and on. And then she's like, okay, well, thank you. And then like, I see the guy like walk down the aisle the other way, and he's like all flustered. And then I come around and they're standing there, and it's an older black couple. And the guy said, this store. And the woman said, what? I like this store. And he said, this is just a bunch of old Christmas bullshit. And I was like, oh. He said, they got every kind of thing you want here except the thing you need. And I was like, please don't look at my basket and see all the ridiculous stuff I have bought for myself. All of which I did not need. I was like, yes, I needed this crystal peacock. It's 50% off. Come on. But yeah, Hobby Lobby is not the best place for that anyway because, they believe in traditional Santa, I guess. Which people get so worked up about it. I'm like, I don't care. I said if I was not a white person, I'd be like, why is Santa just like why doesn't Santa look like me? The same thing like kids with dolls. Like why do I feel like I did something wrong? Like kids with dolls, like I can't imagine like being a little girl playing with dolls and being like, hey, why don't any of these dolls look like me? Why don't any of them have hair like me? And so I love seeing that Barbie is now like, hey, there's an overweight one. There's any kind of race you could possibly want. There's a disabled one. There's one with vitiligo. Because when you don't have things like that, especially for young girls, like they grow up thinking that like, is there something wrong with me because there's not any versions of me on the shelves? And people be getting all worked up. Y'all, it's Santa and it's a doll. Everybody calm down. All right, y'all, I got through the yarn barf. Let's see how my bowl works. I mean, when I was a kid, if I had seen that, like in a store, like a black Santa, I'd be like, what the hell is this? Like, what's going on with this? So I'm glad that, you know, it's an option now to have the black Santa or the black elves, the black Barbie. Or Latina holiday Barbie. She's the prettiest one every year. Look at that ball rolling out of there like that. That's nice. All right, that is all I'm going to do for tonight because my arms are hurting and I need meatballs. See, I don't like the way this looks right here. And that's just because that's where I'm going up to the next row. But I don't mind how it looks over here. I just think this side's kind of boring. But this side's kind of boring too, so. Oh God, my hands hurt. Maybe if I just leave this here with like a little piece of chocolate on it, some nice elf will come in the night and do the rest of the sleeve for me. And then I'll have to do another one. And then I'll have to do the back panel. And then I'll have to put the whole damn thing together. All right, well, I'm gonna go eat because I'm hungry. And here's my popcorn flowers. I wonder if I could make like a smaller one and just like have it in the middle there. That would be cute. Yeah, I don't know that I like this. Like, I like that it gives it more texture. I don't know about it. I don't know. We're going to have to see what Black Santa wants me to do. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I will holla at y'all later. And, what is it, baby? And yeah, okay. I'll see you Wednesday with a new video if I don't see you live before then. Bye. Is my arm in the right spot? Bye.